Okay. My friend felt like she wasn't being acknowledged by her boss, so she quit. She felt like she wasn't being appreciated by her boyfriend, so she broke up with him. Now she's unemployed, broke, alone, and apparently has never been happier. She would just appreciate if you didn't acknowledge that. Word use. All right, here we go. Daylight savings time is really annoying. I feel like it took an hour of my life in the matter of a second. When I already have YouTube to do that, I don't need the calendar doing it for me. If I want an hour of my life to go by without even being able to notice it or do anything about it, I'll just look up cat videos on YouTube. I don't know if you guys know, there was a movie called The Upside that came out with Bryan Cranston. He played a quadriplegic. People were really pissed off. They said that's ableism, that he had no right to play a quadriplegic when there were plenty of other quadriplegic actors that could have played. Anyway, what really is crazy is that they got so mad at him for playing that role, but Eddie Redmayne played Stephen Hawking, and no one ever called that guy out. He's never, ever owned a Speak and Spell. So I would qualify for the job. I mean, seriously. These movies are getting too woke. They're trying to do a movie about a woman who only has 3 months to live, but they can never complete production. So it's crazy. Sometimes acting is probably just a better way to go. I was at a coffee shop and the lady was like, "Excuse me, do you have a problem with me nursing my baby here?" And I was like, "Lady, if I had a problem with what you were doing, I wouldn't have been watching you for the last 12 minutes. Like, I'm obviously supportive. I would just request that maybe you switched a little bit. And also, I mean, if they're done, there's like no half and half. So if you could just help out, that'd be great." As it turns out, I'm really bad at meth and spelling. Two worst subjects for sure. Math and spelling. That probably explains why I failed the DARE program. I don't know if you guys have the DARE program there, but for a while I had a DARE shirt, and I mean, it was secondhand, so it faded. I didn't know what DARE meant. So I just grew up thinking that DARE stood for drugs are really expensive. And in a single parent family, that was reason enough never to get involved. My mom said drugs were for rich kids whose parents can afford to sedate them rather than hold them. Anyway, look, I get that drugs are bad, you know, but sometimes they make boring people a little bit more tolerable. Like my friend Susan, not the most exciting woman, but then she started doing meth, and now she's Susan on ice. It's incredible. Ice is a slang term for anyway. People are kind of obsessed with their pets. It's a little weird. I mean, I get that dogs are a lot like kids, except dogs don't call the cops on you when you smack them in the face for eating macaroni and cheese when you're just trying to get more root beer. I guess by default, dogs are better. It's also hard to tell the bruises on all that fur. Anyway, I was at the coffee shop, same place where the woman was breastfeeding. Anyway, I was at the coffee shop and I saw a sign that said lost dog, but I felt it would have been more honest if they would have just said escaped dog, right? But if the dog would have put up that flyer, it would say free dog. But a flyer like that just has people coming by to take the whole pet, and the circle of life just starts all over again. If I ever had a dog, I would name my dog Steven, because people are way more inclined to help you find a lost 5-year-old named Steven. Especially if they don't know it's a dog. You know, you could just be like, well, he's got gray hair, and he just grabs random food. I feed him so well at home. I don't know why he keeps doing this, but if you could just help me look for him, that would be great. I could never adopt a dog. I could never be that guy because I know every time I told the dog to do something and it didn't listen and it just barked at me, I know that that's the dog's way of saying, I don't have to listen to you. You're not my real dad. You know what I mean? Like, they can tell from the photos. All right, so dog jokes work well here. Okay, cool. My friend really wanted a dog, and what she did to make sure that she was ready for a dog is she would dog sit for other people. So for 4 months, she just borrowed people's dogs, and after 4 months, she went ahead and adopted a dog because she couldn't have one naturally, and that's just what you do, you know, like first you try and then you adopt. It's a joke about dog sex. Okay, cool. My my friend, his wife confided that she's been cheating on him. She slept with his best friend, which is not just adultery, but also bestiality. He loved that dog. That's another dog sex joke. Okay. I get bored watching YouTube videos, so I just have to come up with dog sex jokes. My friend met up with me and he was wearing some really expensive sneakers, and I was just like, are those things even comfortable? Those are like over $250. He's like, yeah, they're comfortable. Like you could run in them. I'm like, that's good because you're gonna have to, like, a lot. That's a joke about people's footwear being stolen. All right. Okay, cool. I'm in New Orleans. New Orleans actually only has 3 seasons. Too hot to do anything, too cold to go anywhere, and Mardi Gras. So we're in the other one right now. I think it's great. I don't know how casinos work out there or if you guys are allowed to gamble, but casinos here offer free drinks, which is really good, right? Because nobody wants to make irrational decisions sober. It's ridiculous. I mean, plus if you're going to make sure, you know, grandma's spending the kids' college fund, like she should probably be toasted by that point. 2 more. I mean, you should never complain when you see 6 cops pulling over 1 car because that's 5 cops that aren't messing with you. So just like let the hyenas feed and just run, Gazelle. Just run along. You guys have several cops pulling? Okay, all right. I'm just gonna I'll do more research and do more jokes about Queen, the band, and the woman. Anyway, finally, it's weird in like the days of social media, it's so hard to talk to people. Like there's this girl that I've been following for like the last month. You know, like the outfits she wears and the food she eats. And it's just like I want to gather the courage to say something, you know, like to send her a message, but she doesn't have any social media. So guess I'll just have to sit down next. That's a joke about stalking. All right. You guys are great. Thank you.